Hi, this is Ruth Bomar, your academic coach, and I want to talk to you today about procrastination. The research I'm reading about procrastination is written by Heidi Grant Halvorson in her book Succeed, and she describes two start buttons for those of us that are struggling with procrastination. So if your task is something was really complicated that you really just don't, maybe it's a conceptual challenge, you don't understand it, then to find your start button, you simply do your very next step. If your task is something tedious, monotonous, maybe you don't like to do it, it's unpleasant, it's boring, unattractive, then to find your start button, you want to remind yourself of your why. Why am I doing this? So if you use this approach to dealing with procrastination, it might help you get that first step going towards getting the job done. Let me describe something that happened to me this morning. I'm in my chapter 4 stage of my dissertation, which is I'm writing about my data. And it's very boring and dull. It's numbers, and I don't think about numbers too well. So it's not a task that I fully understand. It's hard for me. It's a complex task. And I had blocked out the entire morning to write, and I procrastinated all the way until 11 o'clock today. There's no excuse, instead of writing, I go clean my stove. So my stove is totally sparkling, but is my paper written? No. So I finally had to come to grips with, this isn't working. I'm not able to be productive here in my home. I really needed to go to Starbucks and write there. I knew that if I can get there, it would help me start. It would be my start button. So that was my start button. That was my little step. Take a little baby step towards the task. Just take the very next step. For me this morning, to overcome the procrastination monster, I just needed to do the next step, which was pack up my computer and go to Starbucks and write. It took me about 30 minutes to reel in all my thoughts and to remember what it was I was writing about. Around 11:30, I got in the flow and I was able to write for about an hour and a half. And it wasn't a very complicated part. It wasn't that big of writing. I didn't write like 5, 6, 7 pages. It was just like half a page. But that's how hard it was for me. It was complex, too complex. So that's how I handled procrastination today.